Good morning, dear students. Let's start our class about comparatives and superlatives. On this class, we'll see how to use comparatives and superlatives in negative and interrogative forms. The rules for negatives and questions are the same as with other verb forms. The adjective itself does not change, only the verb does. Comparatives and superlatives work just like any other adjective. The verb shows tense, negation, or question form, while the adjective expresses comparison. Let's start it. Start making a review. A comparative is a grammatical structure used to compare two things, people, places, or actions to show that one has more or less of a quality of characteristic than the other. The structure typically uses the words more or less and compares adjectives or adverbs. For most adjectives with one syllable, the comparative form is created by adding "er" to the end of the adjective. For example, Sarah is taller than John. The book is longer than the movie. For adjectives with two or more syllables, the comparative is created by adding more or less before the adjective. For example, she is more intelligent than her brother. The coffee is less bitter than the tea. There are some irregular comparatives that do not follow these patterns, such as good becoming better and bad becoming worse. On the other hand, the superlative is used to describe an object or person that is at the highest or lowest extreme, comparing with a group of objects or other people. In addition, the superlative is used when we talk about three or more elements, not when we have only two. For most adjectives with one syllable, the superlative form is created by adding "s" to the end of the adjective. For example, my grandmother is the prettiest. My house is the newest in the street. For adjectives with two or more syllables, the superlative is created by adding most or least before the adjective. For example, Peter is the most creative person in the class. This is the most important topic right now. There are some irregular superlatives that do not follow these patterns, such as good becoming best and bad becoming worst. Using comparatives and superlatives can help us to express our opinions and make comparisons more effectively. It is important to note that the word than must always be used after the comparative and the word the before superlatives to make a complete comparison. To rewrite comparative affirmative sentences into negative form, we use the structure am, is, are, not, plus adjective with er, plus than, plus complement, or am, is, are, not, plus more, plus adjective, plus than, plus complement, depending on the adjective. For example, my bike is not faster than yours. This book is not more interesting than the movie. That chair is not more comfortable than the sofa. Elephants are not bigger than horses. Julia is not taller than Martha. To correct negative sentences with mistakes, we need to ensure that correct comparative form is used. For adjectives that take er, we don't use more. For longer adjectives, we use more and the basic form of the adjective. Look at these other examples. This room isn't smaller than the other one. He's not clever than his brother. This film isn't more interesting than the book. Lions aren't stronger than tigers. Comparative questions are an essential part of English grammar that allow us to compare two or more things or ideas. Let's see the following examples. What things are cheaper now than they were 10 years ago? Some electronic devices, like smartphones and laptops, are cheaper now than they were 10 years ago. Which season do you prefer, summer or winter? Why? I prefer summer because I enjoy the warm weather and spending time outdoors. What do you think is more difficult, learning a new language or a musical instrument? I think learning a new language is more difficult because it requires constant practice and exposure. Do you think it's easier to make friends in person or online? It's easier to make friends online because you can connect with people who share your interests worldwide. What do you think is more beneficial for your health, exercise or a balanced diet? Actually, both are important. They work best together. To rewrite affirmative superlative sentences into negative form, we use the structure am, is, are, not, plus the, plus adjective est, plus complement, or am, is, are, not, plus the must, plus adjective, plus complement, depending on the adjective. Check these examples. This is not the most interesting book I have ever read. He is not the friendliest person in the office. That was not the most successful project of the year. She didn't choose the most expensive option on the menu. This is not the most comfortable chair in the room. He didn't give the most convincing explanation of all. That was not the most enjoyable vacation we've ever had. This is not the most useful app on my phone. She didn't arrive at the most convenient time possible. Superlative questions are another important part of English language that allow us to compare and identify who or which thing has the highest quality of a group or team. For example, what is the most beautiful city you have ever visited? For me, Kyoto is the most beautiful city I visited, with its temples and gardens. Is English the most important language to learn in today's world? Yes, English is the most important language to learn today because it is used internationally in business and technology. Who is the funniest person you know? The funniest person I know is my cousin. She always makes everyone laugh with her jokes. Is Messi the greatest soccer player of all time? Yes, Messi is the greatest soccer player of all time because of his incredible skill and records. Is the internet the most important invention of the modern era? Definitely, the internet has transformed communication, education, business, and entertainment more than any other invention. Questions and negative sentences in the comparative and superlative follow the same rules of verb tenses as any other sentence. Since we are talking about adjectives, they don't change the form of the verb. We use past, present, or future as usual, and the adjective is simply there. For instance, simple present, I'm older than you. Simple past, he lived there longer than me. Present perfect continuous, he's been working there longer than Pedro. Thus, we have some examples of comparatives and superlatives in English in advance, in various verb tenses, simple present, simple past, and present perfect. Now we have some examples of comparatives in affirmative, negative, and interrogative forms in the simple present tense. Healthier is the comparative form of healthy. For example, tea is healthier than juice. Pepsi isn't healthier than juice. Is tea healthier than juice? Yes, tea is healthier than juice because it usually has fewer calories and less sugar. Which is healthier, tea or juice? Tea might be healthier, but I prefer juice. Next, we have some examples in the simple past tense with the same grammatical structures. Dinner is a comparative form of din. For example, she was much thinner when she was younger. She wasn't much thinner when she was younger. Was she thinner when she was younger? Yes, she was thinner when she was younger. How much thinner was she when she was younger? She was about 10 pounds thinner when she was younger. Finally, let's see the superlative form. In the following examples, we use several superlatives: the most famous, the fastest, the latest, and the best. Check them. Rosalía has been the most famous Spanish singer for several years. My cousin Pepe has never been the fastest runner in school. Have you seen the latest Woody Allen film? Yes, I have. It was really interesting. Who has had the best result so far? Maria has had the best results so far. To finish, remember this simple rule. Comparatives and superlatives don't change in negatives or questions. The verb does. Thank you so much for your attention. See you soon. Then after this grammar explanation, we are going to put it in practice doing some exercises. In this presentation, we will review how comparatives and superlatives work. Practice using them in different tenses, past, present, and future, and apply these structures in several exercises that connect grammar to real-life situations. By the end of this session, you'll not only recognize comparatives and superlatives, but also use them confidently in any tense to make your communication clearer and more expressive. In our first exercise, we have to fill in the blanks with the correct form of the adjective in brackets. Use either the comparative er more or superlative es must form. Number 1. My brother has a tidier room than me. Number 2. Australia is bigger than England. Number 3. I'm better now than yesterday. Number 4. She has less money than you, but she doesn't care. Number 5. John thinks Chinese is the most difficult language in the world. Number 6. Valencia played worse than Real Madrid yesterday. Number 7. Cats are not as intelligent as dogs. Number 8. Show me the best restaurant downtown. Number 9. The hottest desert of all is the Sahara, and it's in Africa. Number 10. Who is the most talkative person in your family? Now, let's continue with our second exercise. Choose the correct option. This puzzle is more difficult than the one we solved yesterday. Next. The Nile River is the longest river in Africa. Next. My sister is taller than I am. Next. The weather today is nicer than it was yesterday. Next. This is the most delicious cake I have ever tasted. Next. Elephants are bigger than rabbits. Next. The students are most active in this class. Next. New York is one of the busiest cities in the world. Next. Your handwriting is neater than mine. Next. This movie is more interesting than the one we saw last week. Next. She's the most dedicated member of the team. Next. The cat moves slower than the tortoise. Next. The Eiffel Tower is one of the most iconic landmarks in the world. Next. This is the most beautiful painting in the art gallery. Next. Penguins are known for being some of the most adorable birds. Then we have the exercise number 3. The words in each sentence are mixed up. Rearrange them for a correct question. Number 1. Which is harder, math or English? Number 2. Is it better to be rich and dumb or poor and smart? Number 3. Is it better to be rich and ugly or poor and beautiful or handsome? Number 4. Does technology make the world better or worse? Why? Number 5. Which game is more entertaining, Tetris or Angry Birds? Why? 6. Are you more creative now or when you were in elementary school? 7. Is it better to study English in class or online? 8. Which is harder, math or English? 9. Do you want the development of new technology to go faster or slower? 10. If you own a business, is it more important to be good with numbers or to be creative? Today we explore how comparatives and superlatives helps us express differences and extremes across past, present, and future contexts. Through exercises, we identify comparative and superlative forms, using them correctly in different tenses and applying them in real-life questions and answers. Remember, language grows stronger when we use it. Keep comparing, practicing, and challenging yourself. Thank you. See you soon. Okay, thank you so much for your time and your attention to this class. See you. Bye-bye.